Right, I want to make this video because one, the ultra-wide monitor seems to be blowing up my YouTube channel, and two, I really want to reiterate if it's important or not. So let's break it down. Is having an ultra-wide monitor beneficial to you? Hi guys, my name is Edward White and I'm a creative entrepreneur based in the UK. I make videos around building my businesses and productivity. One video, if you are following my channel, I've recently made is called My Home Desk Setup Ultra-Wide and Minimal, which I think the reason it has a lot of click-throughs is because of that juxtaposition. So I wanted to make a video on whether having an ultra-wide monitor, I'm pointing at it right now because it's literally right there, is important and beneficial. So I'm going to break down the pros and the cons for why you would have one. So let's starting with the pros. Number one is if you are a video editor, I cannot stress this enough, it's so easy to have your whole timeline across the screen. And if you've ever worked with video, you understand that having a clear visual representation of the timeline is really, really beneficial. Having every area work for you is, again, really, really beneficial. Another pro to this is if you're doing work, so say for example, I'm trying to edit my company's website and I've got the notes in Notion where I want to keep track of what I want to do, and I will simply use this as a way. So I can have it picture by picture, I can have the website designer on to the right and then the Notion document onto the left, so then I can work with both to essentially curate what it is I need to curate. It works really well for stuff like Photoshop and having images that you need to sort of see all of them along the page. And another pro is that it's quite immersive when you're in it. So this is an ultra-wide curved monitor. I definitely wouldn't say they have to be curved, but ultimately when you're in it, you can really get focused and you can really start that deep work. If you've ever read the book Deep Work by Cal Newport, this can be really useful and it can really just help to get focused. So you have no distractions, you just are focused on what you need to be focused on. To the cons. Firstly, the con number one is that if you want it on a monitor arm, there's a very limited type of arms that you can get. So I had to spend quite a lot of money just to get a monitor arm that would actually fit this. I mean, if I didn't need it on the monitor arm, which I do, then it would be all right. But number two, and this is going to sound completely contradictory, is that it's too wide. Sometimes, depending on what you're doing, if you're just trying to focus on the document and you just need that middle document, sometimes it can be too wide, which can be a little bit distracting. Perfect if you need a big, wide timeline, as I mentioned before. If you just need a document that you just need to work on, sometimes I find that can be distracting. But then there's ways to get rid of the other distractions. You can have a screen so it just pops out on the full screen with the black on either side. Yeah, other than that, I cannot see any other cons to having an ultra-wide monitor. I would say you don't necessarily have to go out and buy an ultra-wide monitor, but I do recommend that you have at least two. I didn't think I'd need this until I have it, and it's one of those things I don't think I'd ever go back to. So I used to work on just a little small IKEA desk, I think it was, and I would just use my laptop. And I didn't realize how slow it actually is from changing task if you need to without having it side by side. It just adds, say, a second or two to your time, but then that incrementally adds up over time. So really think about this. If you want to have a faster workflow, how can you do it so that you've either got an ultra-wide monitor or you've got two screens that you can use simultaneously to have the workflow better for you? I really like this monitor. This is the Samsung 43-inch curved ultra-wide LED monitor, and I really like this because I can have multiple inputs. So there's a feature called the picture by picture. So I've got my camera in here, which I can see here. So I'm looking down here to see, just check it's in focus and stuff, and it's still recording. And then I can also have, if I want to, notes and stuff. So I can play the camera with the notes, and this just helps my workflow better. I can have other areas if I need to. I can move the screen around, and yeah, I really, really like this. The computer also gets charged whilst it's plugged into the screen, so I've only got one wire coming out, which was quite an important factor for me. I only wanted to have the one wire. I didn't want to have multiple cables because I wanted it to be, again, minimal. If you want to go see my desk setup, you can go and check that out up here. I'll link it above and below if you want to go and check it out. I want to say thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and if you have any questions on the curved monitor or how I use it specifically, please let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.